Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. Well, on the 21st of August, I'm going to be speaking live to General Isaac van Zyl, and the timing of that live stream is not coincidental, because there's suggestions that on the 23rd of August, there's going to be a huge insurrection against the government of South Africa. Now, this is complete hearsay. There's nothing to factually back it, but there are a lot of people suggesting this is going to happen. Now, to give you a bit of an idea of what happened a few weeks ago, when KZN and Gauteng were looted by thousands of very, very well-connected looters driving four-wheel vehicles, drive vehicles and loading fridges in the back and stuff like that. Certainly wasn't an issue with food. It was just blatant theft. Well, let me tell you what's going on here. State Capture Inquiry Evidence Leader Paul Pretorius revealed that an inquiry called Operation Visa into former President Jacob Zuma's private intelligence armed unit was allegedly gagged by the former State Security Minister Ayanda Dalodlo and the retired head of domestic intelligence Mashlodi Sam Morfle in March this year. The unit was led by Spy Master Thulani Dlomo, who turned himself in and was quickly released after reports that he was wanted as an instigator of the July violence, in which 337 people lost their lives. Pretorius's revelations show why Ramaphosa did not renew Morfle's contract at the end of July, why Dlodlo was moved and Ramaphosa placed State Secretary. Pretorius's revelations show why Ramaphosa did not renew Morfle's contract at the end of July, why Dlodlo was moved on, and Ramaphosa placed state security under the president in last week's cabinet reshuffle. Ramaphosa is testifying for a second day, and in the denouncement, Ramaphosa is actually sitting before the Zondo Commission at the moment, which has sat for 3 years at the cost of almost 1 billion rand. The chairperson, Judge Raymond Zondo, has said that his report will be released at the end of September. Now, I'm going to play you a little video clip where you will see earlier this week, this is Ramaphosa facing up to the Zondo Commission and claiming total ignorance to what was going on around him. It's that famous old Zulu word, Angaze. I know nothing, as Manuel from Faulty Towers would say. Angaze. Let's watch that.
All this is what I got to hear when the evidence was being given here, and no knowledge that I had about all this. It's quite, I'm not allowed to use the word shocking anymore. They must teach me another word I can use rather than shocking. It's quite, I don't know, maybe frightening. It's very concerning, very deeply concerning to be more serious about this. Because, Chairperson, this is precisely what we don't expect from the democracy that we have. It shouldn't happen that people of imported positions are just used in a way by people who want to extract either rents or financial benefits out of our democratic system and institutions. It shouldn't be. So it's something that is deeply, deeply concerning, and it's just as well that the Commission is unraveling all these things so that they should never happen ever again in our country.
What we have here is just a bunch of people stealing and looting right from the top, Ramaphosa all the way down. Pretorius revealed that a special investigating unit investigation of the parallel intelligence agency called the Principal Agency Network had been stopped by Zuma in 2011. The former State Security Minister, Siyabonga Swele, had gagged that probe, and 10 years later his successor, Glodlo, stopped another investigation into the corruption of the intelligence services, the Commission heard. Pretorius said, an efficient, lawful and capable SSA doing its allotted task during the state capture years may have made a big difference to what happened. He went on to say, it happened, as did many other wrong things, inexplicable things. Our task now, as we move forward, is to deal with the things that went wrong. Ramaphosa said as he giggled to the Zondo Commission, it happened as did many other things, wrong things, inexplicable things. Our task now as we move forward is to deal with all the things that went wrong. We must admit it was an agency compromised and operating under the milieu of state capture. The President's giggles, whether through nervous tic or otherwise, as he was asked serious questions of his and his party's culpability for the period of state capture, was inopportune. Pretorius revealed that witness K, who had testified about the parallel spy network in March, said internal investigations had been hampered and sabotaged. Ms. K talks of executive overreach and under the auspices of Ms. Glodlo, the reinstatement of many of these implicated in wrongdoings, said Pretorius. Intelligence agents gave in-camera evidence of dirty ops by the parallel agency and the State Security Agency. Pretorius said, what happened after that is that Operation Visa was stopped by Ms. K and Ms. Y, who were responsible for the collation of the evidence and who gave evidence to the Commission in January. But they were taken off their jobs. Advocate Mufti was tasked with continuing the investigation. But Mufti put all the evidence and documentation under lock and key. There was talk of getting a private firm of attorneys to continue the work under the direction of the previous minister, Glodlo, and Advocate Mufti. To which Ramaphosa replied, it might seem like the process has been stopped or scuttled, but all these things will come to light. Pretorius said that the evidence which Mufti had locked away included documents showing how arms and state funds had been spirited out of state intelligence into private hands. Pretorius said, is that relevant to what happened in July? The riots and looting, which are likely to take 50 billion rand out of the economy in 2021, with the loss of 337 lives and 150,000 jobs. Anyone with an inquiring mind would raise these questions. Glodlo did not renew the contract of the former acting Director General of the SSA, Loyiso Yafta, who blew the whistle on rampant corruption of intelligence, which he told the Commission had cost the state 9 billion rand. He also revealed how this money was abused, as well as how a 2.5 million rand monthly cash allowance had been paid to Zuma via cash ordered by former State Security Minister David Malobo. Pretorius asked Ramaphosa why Jafta had been taken off the beat. The president replied that Mr. Jafta was an acting DG, or Director General, whose acting period had been renewed several times. The evidence leader was having none of it. That this Jafta's removal was done in the normal course of business does not accord with our view. Ms. K fears that the Operation Visa was shut for Minister Dlodlo to say public, as she did, that this, the revelations of the private intelligence operation for Zuma, the theft of billions of rands, the loss of arms and money, is all fake news, is rather alarming. He then revealed that after Jafta authorized that all the documents relevant to Operation Visa be released to the Investigation Directorate, headed by Hermione Cronje, Dlodlo and Morphy had refused to do so. The Investigating Directorate is responsible for all state capture prosecutions, and it subpoenaed the documents. There was a standoff between the ID at the SSA headquarters, Masanda, in March 2021, when Murphy's agents refused to hand over the documents and played tough tackle. The Inspector General of Dlodlo also refused intelligence, IGI, access to the documents. Ramaphosa said, "The lack of proper coordination and discussion got in the way of the documents being made available when they should have been. The documents are still under lock and key. There was a time I was concerned the documents had been destroyed or shredded." He added, "Those taken off the job, like Jafta and Ms. K, have to be able to carry on the work. The reason for their removal is not cogent." But Pretorius did not let Ramaphosa get away with this acknowledgement and a vague promise of that this is something we have to follow through. He drew a straight line from the gagging of the investigation and its frustration by Dlodlo and Umfui to the violent looting and riots in July. Pretorius asked, "The importance of these events came to the fore in July. I'm drawing no conclusions but putting forward propositions. Under lock and key in July were the lists of the operatives, the arms details. It would be unfortunate if those activities had a role in the events of July. It's not an unreasonable proposition, is it?" Ramaphosa replied, "It is a proposition, not unreasonable, and it is part of the investigation underway. It is about security for the people of our country. There was a lapse, and we need to investigate how it happened and how it manifested itself." Now, I should just add here that Ramaphosa has got several big houses in South Africa, and all those houses are now being protected 24/7, not by private security, but by the South African National Defence Force, like his farm where he's got his cattle. That has been protected by the police, South African Police Service, and the South African National Defence Force. Now that is misuse of taxpayers' money. Please remember to subscribe to Loving Life on YouTube. Please remember to register on lovinglifetv.com. Please like this video, please share this video, and above all, please stay safe. Bye for now.